Hi, Cancer. It's Jen here from tarotspirit.net. I'm doing your 2017 overview reading for the third time now. I have no idea what's going on, but originally the first reading I did for you, I forgot that it aborted while uploading it to YouTube, and I deleted it off my computer. And so I just did another one, and I saw that it was recording and everything, and for some reason it's it's gone. So I don't know what's going on. I'm really not sure, because it seems it's only your sign that this has happened to. It's very strange. So um let's get to it again. You do have a special year ahead as opposed to a lot of the other signs. I used three different decks, and you had three cards come up twice. So really highlighting those themes. So some strong themes for you this year. Um, and those themes are about this um, energy of the Seven of Pentacles. And it's an energy about the fact that some things are a process, and no amount of worry or anxiety or anger or frustration or nagging or pushing um, is going to make that process happen any faster. It just is. It's a fact. It's like pregnancy. You can't scream and yell to a baby to grow any faster. It's just there's just a certain amount of time that it takes for a baby to fully develop. And same things but that doesn't mean there isn't a lot happening. I mean, there are months before you can even tell someone's pregnant but there's a lot happening in there, right? Same thing with crops. You plant it, you make sure the soil's right, you put it in a good place where it's going to get sun, water, all that stuff, and you plant the seed. But you don't necessarily see everything that's going on underneath the surface. But there's a lot going on there before that shoot pokes up out of the dirt. So it's a little bit about having some faith, having patience, and using that time wisely and not wasting energy um, trying to, like I said before, worry or force or yell things into going faster than the process that is taking place, because it's impossible to make it happen any faster. This card, I had a real aha moment. I pulled it when I was several years ago, when I was about my son. He was young. He was like 7. And I got this card, and he was struggling. He was having some behavior issues in school. And I was like, calm down, Jen. Like, that's what it was like. He's a kid. He's not supposed to be a mature adult who doesn't make mistakes. And it's going to be years of making mistakes, because it's a process, and he isn't supposed to be mature. I don't even know 18-year-olds who are mature. I don't even know 45-year-olds that are mature. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, calm down, stop worrying, stop pressuring him. Just keep guiding him, and understand that this is him finding his way, and it's going to take a long time. And getting mad at him for going through this process it's not helpful at all. But there are productive things I can do during this seemingly downtime that can benefit everyone involved. So using your time wisely and not expending energy on something that is completely futile. So in the work category, you do have the Ten of Wands, which is a card that comes up when you're taking on way too much. And so it's really good to examine at work if you are the type of person that is like, I'm just going to do it myself because it's easier. And then you get to the point where you're doing 10 people's jobs and having trouble getting your own job done, and nothing's getting done well because you're overburdened. You're up at night because you have way too much on your plate, and you're worrying and stressed out and all that stuff. So this is, I like to think about it, just take that pet. She has all these wands. Just drop all those wands and then really thoughtfully examine each wand. Is it really your wand to carry? And if it's not, then don't pick it back up. We tend to take on other people's burdens, especially our significant others, our kids, our family members, our friends. And they all have their own journey and their own stuff to deal with, and it's a bit of an ego thing, I've realized, because I'm this type of person, and it's kind of like you need to keep your hands off it, and that person needs to have their own process and their own journey and their own lessons in learning to deal with their burdens and situations. So at work, this could be delegating and letting someone else fall on their face, even if it might um, seem like it's going to make your work look bad. Everyone has their part to play, and you have to make sure you do your part well. And if someone else is going to slack, don't just jump in and do it for them. But really figuring out what your responsibilities are, what burdens are worth you carrying. Is this job worth you carrying? Are you happy? Is it healthy? Are your thought that you have to stay in this job? So a change in thinking. We have the Knight of Swords, a change in thinking about career in general, and what it means to have a career and what the boundaries of your career are. If you work at home, really make sure you have set hours and don't check your email after hours. Don't be constantly available if you're in a job that you truly don't have to be. And if you are, delegate, hire someone else, hire a part-time person, hire a virtual assistant, something to help lighten your load and unburden yourself if you're overburdened. But really figure out what are truly your responsibilities and your burdens to carry, and stop carrying other people. So this is he'll help cut away all the other stuff that really isn't yours. And the Knight of Swords and the Seven of Pentacles are both mirrored down here in the overall lesson card. So those are highlighting what I just said about things being a process, and also not carrying other people's burdens. You can be codependent in a work relationship as much as you can in a romantic or friendship relationship. So if you're realizing you're in that type of situation, you're going to have to really re-examine, rethink work and career and how that fits into your life. In the relationship and romance category, you have the High Priestess. And when she comes out, especially in relationships, it's really a year where you're going to want to learn to trust your intuition, to trust that gut feeling, that inkling that something's not right, or that there's a connection here and you need to explore what it is, or any sort of red flags. You don't want to continue to be the person that said, oh, I knew something was up. I had a feeling. I didn't trust that person. I should have listened to myself. That's going to stop, because you're going to start really paying attention to those things and listening to yourself and honoring that and being more careful. It doesn't mean you're being paranoid. It doesn't mean that you're a paranoid person. It just means you're listening to your intuition and being cautious. But at the same time, well, you have the wish card here. So getting really clear about what you want out of your relationships. And you have the Four of Pentacles, which is, this card came up twice and is also down in the spiritual lesson. So highlighting the need for boundaries. It's also what I was talking about with the Ten of Wands. Boundaries at work, boundaries in relationships. What is yours to deal with and what is someone else's? Where's that line? What you will and will not tolerate? And communicating those. We have the Knight of Swords twice. So changing how you communicate, really cutting away people who plow through those boundaries and don't respect you. It's a respect issue. Boundaries are all about respect. And it always is interesting that the people with the strongest boundaries, to the point where it's like, I mean, some people have boundaries that are so strict, it's ridiculous. Like the Anna Kay, I'm going to find it. The Anna Kay Tarot has the best depiction of this card. It shows this man, and he's huddled down on the ground with all of his bags of money and stuff, and he's like huddling over it and protecting it, and there's this stone wall in the background, and his family is on the other side of the wall, sort of like huddling together, left out in the cold, while he's huddled over all of his stuff. So it's a card about boundaries, and it usually does depict someone going too far, but the bigger interpretation is, what are your boundaries? Here it is. Are they too strong or are they too weak? And usually the people that are like him have these crazy boundaries, but they don't respect your boundaries at all. And those people are just toxic to have in your life. Bosses like that are toxic to have in your life. Any sort of situation with people like this. I mean, look at him. He's like, I got all my stuff, and they're like, hey dad, what about us? What about relationships? What about spending time with us? What about, what are your priorities? What's going on here? So if you're around someone that's like this, that's a big red flag. Listen to your intuition. Wow, this person cares more about their car and keeping it clean than spending time with me. This person cares more about their money than once a month being able to go out to the movies with me. Not even, just if it's become so extreme that things matter more than relationships, that's a big red flag. Finding those situations in your life, or people who don't want to spend their money, for example, but are happy to spend yours anytime you want to go out, as long as, people who set up situations that are where you're getting the short end of the stick and carrying all the burden and all the responsibility. And those people that are super controlling like that, they always want all the control and none of the responsibility. So you're going to really be more thoughtful this year of things like that in relationships. And you're going to, so you have the wish card. What do you really want? What's truly important? Because it's not the superficial things. It's how people treat you. How they, if you have a partner, if they will help you out, or if they're going to only worry about their things and not respect your wishes and desires. So having people in your life that truly respect you, and you're going to start to manifest healthier, better relationships. You're only going to, it's sort of like you're going to, when this sword comes up, this Knight of Swords, he's going to cut away those relationships or situations that are not mutually beneficial this year. And you're just going to manifest positive relationships, and anything coming in is going to be a positive relationship, or it's not going to stick. You're going to listen to your intuition. And if it's not right, you're done. Bye-bye. Sorry, this isn't going to work. and be done with it, and move on happily, and really be like, oh, I get it now. I'm seeing these things, and there are a lot of people. It's better to have quality than quantity when it comes to relationships and experiences in your life. You want them to be quality, substantial, positive relationships, and not these struggling and kind of exhausting, trying to give people the benefit that, screw it. If you sense something's off, be real clear about how much energy and time you're going to put into something before just saying, you know what, this isn't right, I'm out. There's nothing wrong with that at all. And so you're going to be able to manifest the type of relationships you do want by not spending time and wasting time on ones that are not healthy. And I've already touched on 3 of the 4 cards down here because they already came up in the reading. And the one that I haven't is the 5 of Cups. So I feel this is going to play out in some area of your life where you do set some boundaries and listen to those red flags and speak up with that Knight of Swords energy and say, I can't tolerate, I can't accept this behavior. This will have to change, and someone's going to be like, I'm out. They're going to like have a temper tantrum or be, again, I just feel like for some of you, there are people with such strong boundaries, and that the second you have any boundaries of your own, they're like going to have a fit and they're out of there. And it's gonna be sad. It's gonna be a bummer, and you're gonna have this panic of, oh, see, I set those boundaries, and if I set boundaries, no one's gonna want to be with me. No, you're with the wrong people, and you're gonna find the people who respect you, and those are the people that are gonna want to be with you, and those are the people you're gonna want to be with. So don't second guess yourself if people don't like it. Again, those people that are not respecting you, you can't just compromise everything and first of all, they're not going to respect you anyway if you don't respect yourself and say, hey, this is not acceptable to me. And if that's being respectful to you is a deal breaker, then, help them pack their bags and feel confident that you didn't tolerate that type of crap in any area of your life. It's not selfish energy. It's healthy. It's healthy to not tolerate that type of negativity. So you're really going to clean house, change how you think about things, and you're no longer going to be this, you guys are a water sign, you're very kind, but it's like, you know what? Not letting people walk all over me. I'm not taking on other people's burdens. I'm not being up worrying about other people's stuff. I'm going to start to trust myself. I'm going to start manifesting what I want. And I'm going to do that by really getting clear on what my boundaries are. Allow that process of communicating my boundaries take place, and understand that it may result in some things leaving my life, but knowing that is a consequence of getting rid of that, and it's very important, and it's going to be incredibly beneficial in the long run. Really powerful reading, and I'm glad the other 2 videos didn't go, because I do feel like maybe I communicated the message a little better in this one. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you at the next video. Take care.